I've now painted, just black and white. White suit, but the black seat belts, black helmet, black goggles. My painting definitely leaves a lot to be desired. Let me see if I can't get a good.
I'm gonna have to give Andy 10 fingers and like do more squats to get him up there.
So I just need to do just the face. We'll see how much touch-up is left after that. But yep, so that's coming along. The glass pieces, I haven't glued them in yet, but they're just sitting there. There's the front windshield, there's the rear. And it's coming along. I'm not sure how to glue these in yet. I might use epoxy so it doesn't fog up the glass. But anyways, there's a bit of an update. Alright, so I just sprayed some clear coat, some gloss clear on this. It looks good right now as it's wet, but we'll see how it looks after it dries up, a couple hours. Maybe I don't know, it was only one coat. Maybe I do a couple, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll see how it looks later. Alright, so for the past few minutes I've been hacking up the bottom of this car so that it'll fit around the chassis. So here's all the pieces I cut out, and now it sits much better. There's the driver's side. Let me see if I can't spin this around, trying to do this with one good arm. And there's a head-on view. Passenger side, I mean the back end is going to sit up a little bit higher, but that's probably the way it's going to sit. So yeah, I think I need now to solder on some attaching points and go from there. So we're getting closer. Alright, so for the past few minutes I've been just cutting down this flat stock so I can solder it to the sides so that I can mount it to the body. And yes, it doesn't fit right now, but I'll use a little spring clamp. I'll take the motor out and I'll do it this way. And I'll have the spring clamp hold it down, and then I'll solder it in place. So let me do all the soldering and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so I got the 4 mounting brackets soldered onto the chassis, and actually my soldering got better as I went along. This is the first one I did, and you can see there's solder on both sides of the joint. Then I went to this one and I held a soldering iron there and I watched the solder just appear there, and I knew it was done. Same thing with this one. It just appeared on this side, but I hit the iron there. This one here, same thing, held it here, and I watched the solder flow across to there. So anyways, I think I'm getting better at soldering, but it's still a little bit messy, but that'll improve with time. Alright, so as you can see, I told you before, I got the tabs put on for the mounting, and then I've just been washing this with baking soda and hot water, and then gave it a good rinse and a dry, and now the chassis is going to go outside to be primed. And I'm just going to prime it with the Rust-Oleum 2X flat black. So give me a minute. So I got the chassis hanging. I actually put a dartboard up outside here. I got the wire with the turnbuckles and 2 eye hooks, and I mount my dartboard outside on nice nights. So I'm going to prime this here with the black, and hopefully it won't swing too much. Let's see. Let's turn this around. Oh shit, I forgot to block up. Oh well. I'll have to clean out the axles. Not a big deal. All right, I think that is good. So I'll let this sit out here and dry, and then I'll look to see if it needs a second coat or not, and I might just leave it to flat black. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. All right, guys. So I've been looking on how to mount the chassis to the frame or the body, and I ended up putting, let's see if I can't do this with one hand, piece of wood here and a piece of wood here, and then at the front of the car, I'll turn this around, this is the fronts here, this is the rear, so 2 pieces of wood in the rear kind of underneath the seats, and then in the front of the car, in this little V-groove, I poured epoxy, 5-minute epoxy, and I let that set up overnight. And now I've got my 2 holes that go up into the epoxy and 2 mounting holes that kind of go into the wood. So let me mount the body on here and we'll do some laps. Hang on. All right, guys, so it looks like I'm just down to a few more pieces. So there is the rear view mirror, which I'm not sure I'm going to put in here. It hangs from the top, but I don't really see how to mount it, so we don't need a rear view. I've got the driver, which he'll sit here. I've got the dash and the pedals. They'll mount here. I've got the glass, front and back. That'll mount inside. Oh, you know what? The rear view mounts to the little hole in the top of the front glass. That's where the rear view mounts. Okay, so I'll look at that. So these will be like such. Then I've got the lower front bumper. There is the front bumper already on the upper. Here is the lower. I've got a few glass pieces that kind of fit in the headlights. Then I have the rear bumper with the red tail lights that go that go mounted into there. So that, after that, I think I'm done. So really, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more pieces. So there you go. So let me start working on this, and I'll bring you back as soon as I'm done. All right, so I've got the dash in and my driver is mounted. So next I'm going to install the glass in the car, and I'm going to try the Bob Smiths, which I've heard everyone talk about, which does not fog your glass supposedly. So that is coming up next.
We have a 6-year window on everything else.
All right, well, I've got pretty much all the interior is done. I don't know, let's see if I put it out in the light.
But the reason why I'm not
kind of hard to,
about it is because of the way he set the team up.
Hard to tell.
He won the championship. The championship's great. I think that's tremendous.
Let's see. Let's go a different angle.
Who comes in and wants to start undoing things and cutting payroll, it's not going to be super easy for some new owner to do. You can make trades, I guess. Yeah, sure. You're going to get good returns for a lot of these players. You got good players.
You can see the driver in there.
Your entire starting 5 and more. You know, so that's a roster that's locked in. It's a roster that was dominant last year, the best one by far in the league. And you got your 2 best guys locked up.
I just need to put the chrome bumpers on.
That I think is going to make this team viable going forward, no matter who the owner is. Yeah, and look, so I'm happy.
True up the wheels. I got the glass installed.
You guys both voted happy. You don't sound super happy, but you
So now I just need to, like I said, true the tires and put the chrome on, and it's good to go.
Happy. KNR18, 73%. You can vote at Jones and Mego. 27% say they're angry.
All right, well, the Land Barge is now complete. I've got the front and rear grills, headlights, taillights. I've got the chassis mounted to the body. I've added some weight. And let's give it a few laps around the track and see how she runs. This thing is huge. I wonder what that weird whistling sound is. It's been lubricated and oiled and very interesting. All right, well, you know, that's the best I could do. And the next thing is now to send this off to HRW headquarters. But there you go. So I guess now the next time you see this thing running, it'll be at Harry's. All right, guys. See you later.